We just keep it real. Okay? And listen, what I want y'all to do for me right quick is please like, share, and subscribe. Right? A lot of y'all are watching me, but you're not subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. Okay? And check your notification bell. Make sure it says all. So that when I go live, you'll get notified, okay? And on that note, let's get into some things. Let's get into some things. I don't know why my avatar not showing up. I don't understand why my avatar won't show up on here. Like it'll show up when I'm not, I don't understand. I don't understand that. My avatar, it'll show up. Like before I go live, it'll show up. But then once I go live, it don't show up. I don't understand that. I really don't. But anywho, I'm getting ready to go to the doctors in a few. Let's talk about it. I titled this Let It Go. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? And I titled this, wait a minute, y'all. And let it go. I titled this Let It Go. Let It Go. Okay? Because let me tell you something. Why hold on to stuff, okay, when you can't do nothing about it, right? Like, some of y'all men and women, y'all in relationships, and the relationships, your relationship sucks, but you holding on. Let me tell you something. You can't change nobody but yourself, okay? You can't change nobody but you. Okay? Um, because that's just how that go, right? You cannot change anyone but yourself. And the quicker that you recognize that, the better off you be, right? You can't change nobody but yourself. Some of us think that we can change other people, and you can't. You just can't. Um, and so sometimes you got to sit back and ask yourself, is this worth it? Is this really worth it? Am I going to benefit from this? You know, if I stay here, am I going to benefit from this? Like, you got to really sit back sometimes and break some shit down. Like, seriously, tap in, tap in. You got to really zoom in on yourself and ask yourself, is this really gonna work? Am I benefiting from this? What's gonna come out of this for me? You understand what I'm saying? And that's not being selfish. That's not being selfish. That's just, you just need to get your shit together for yourself, right? That ain't being selfish. And that's with anything. Some things you gotta let it go. You can't keep holding on to it. You got to let it go because it ain't benefiting you. Kid George. What you mean what? What do you mean what? 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 You heard what I said. Sometimes you got to let things go. Especially when it's not doing nothing for you but breaking you down. Okay? And some of us got a bad habit of that. We hold on to them bad, toxic relationships. We hold on to If the bills can't get paid, we start worrying and stuff. Don't worry. If you can't do nothing about it, what's you sitting around worrying going to do? What is that going to do? Is it going to change it? Is it going to change it? Okay? Like, you really, you really got to ask yourself that instead of sitting around asking, what? Get out my chat with this foolishness. You got to ask yourself, is this benefiting you? Because when you worry, let me tell you something. Worrying is something that, especially in the melanated community, we have a bad habit of worrying over stuff. Okay? When you got to really sit down and ask yourself, is this going to work? Is this going to benefit me? Because sitting around worrying is not going to help. When you recognize you can't do nothing about it, you got to let it go. You just got to let it go. You really do. You got to let it go. Because it's not helping you, and you're not benefiting from it. So you got to let it go. Like, seriously. And with the world, the way the world is today, you definitely got to start tapping into yourself and doing some healing and letting some shit go. You know, you really need to regroup and tap into yourself, to your inner self, and get rid of all that garbage that you got going on in there. And I'm not talking about just eating the garbage you eat. I'm talking about all the garbage. I'm talking about the mental garbage that you carry around. Okay? The garbage you carry around in your heart. Okay? Because of your feelings for something. You know, you got to learn to let a lot of things go. If you have no control over it, let it go. Let it go. Okay? Because what you're doing is you hindering yourself from benefiting. You're hindering yourself from growing, evolving, and elevating. That's what you're doing when you constantly worrying about stuff that you have no control over. Okay? Seriously. Seriously. That's what happens when you get caught up in stuff that you have no control over. You end up, you stop evolving and elevating because those things become your hindrance. Put it like that. Those things start to do nothing but hinder you until you recognize that those things you have no control over those things. So you got to let it go. You got to let it go so you can move on and do better for you. And that's the problem with so many of us. First of all, some of us don't tap into ourselves. We don't pay attention to what's going on with ourselves, our inner self. We don't. We so caught up in the relationship. We caught up in a lot of stuff that's seriously bullshit. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. We get caught up in, and I do it too. I have to catch myself sometime because I'm still work in progress. Okay, but I got to catch myself sometime and pull my own card. And I have to ask myself sometime, is this going to benefit you? Can you do anything about this? When I recognize that, I let it go. I let it go. And that's what we have to start doing. We got to start letting shit go. We worry. Some of us be worrying and worrying about stuff that you can't do anything about. You had no control over it, but you worrying about it. Yeah. Gotta learn how to let that shit go. All that shit gonna do is make you have a heart attack or a stroke or something. That's all worrying do. It's not gonna do nothing for you. It's gonna make you have a stroke or a heart attack from worrying. Because we worry over things that we have no control over. We really do. We worry over stuff that we don't have no control over. Like, seriously. And we got to stop doing that. We got to start tapping more into ourselves. And we got to start, doing a lot more reflecting. Seriously. Seriously, we do. Because, like, if you sit around and you just keep worrying and worrying, right? You're going to worry yourself right into your grave. And you're going to start looking old as hell. For real. That's just what's going to happen. You're going to start looking old from worrying. It's not even worth it. Some people be worrying so much they start losing weight. Their hair start coming out and everything. You got to ask yourself, is those things really worth it? You worrying and stuff over stuff that you have no control over. And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes we get so caught up in it, we don't even recognize that we don't have no control over it, and there's nothing that we could do about it. We don't even recognize that. That's the sad part. That's why it's important to take time out for yourself. It's important for you to take time out for you. Seriously. And for you to do some self-reflecting. Because when you start doing some self-reflecting, you know what? You start to realize some things. When you stop and go somewhere and sit quietly and just focus on you and what's going on within you, I'm telling you, you're going to start recognizing a whole lot of things. But the problem is that some of us don't take time out for ourselves. We don't spend no time alone. We don't. We don't spend no time alone. And that's why a lot of times we get sidetracked because we got so much going on. For real. Seriously. So you gotta start letting go. You do. You just gotta let that shit go, man. All that worrying and letting people get on your nerves. You gotta really reflect on stuff and recognize, man, a lot of times all that shit is a distraction. Right? It distracts you from doing things that you could be doing for yourself. Seriously. Because a lot of times we get caught up in shit that really we can't do nothing about, but we let it worry us and break us down. We got to stop doing that. You got to start paying attention, tapping into yourself, your inner self. And you got to start, writing it down if you have to. Is this going to help me or is this going to hinder me? Can I do anything about this? Write it down if you have to. And when you recognize that you can't do nothing about that, about those things, let it go. Just let it go. For real. Because it's just not worth it. It's not worth you ending up in the hospital, ending up with a stroke or an aneurysm or something. Worrying will break you down. Worrying will put you in your grave. And the world is going to keep going. I can't leave that part out. The world is going to keep freaking going. You done worried yourself to death and put yourself in your grave. And now the world is going to keep going. They're not going to be worried about you. You might have a few people that's going to shed some tears and stuff, right? Your kids will be hurt. But other than that, those people that you was worried about, they went on about that. They going on. They going on. They ain't looking back. Oh, man, she gone. That's probably all they might say. Oh, man, she gone. You done worried yourself sick about this person or about something they doing or whatever, knowing you ain't have no control over it. And the minute that you end up in your grave, them people gonna keep on going. So ask yourself, you need to start asking yourself, is it worth it? So I don't worry about nothing. And when I see myself getting caught up in something, oh boy, I check myself. I sure did. I hurry up and check myself and ask myself, girl, can you do anything about this? No. Well, get yourself together. Get yourself together right now. Yeah, I check myself real quick. I sure do. Letting people worry you and stuff. People that don't mean you're no good. They don't mean you're no good. For real. They don't mean you're no good. And you up there worried about them. Or trying to change them. Trying to fix them. I got some of those people in my family. Them people that want to fix everybody. And can't fix shit. They ain't even fixed their self yet. And they in their 60s, 70s, and they ain't even fixed they ain't even got their shit together. But they run around trying to fix everybody. Please. Be for real. Seriously, come on. We got to do better. Keep telling you. Start worrying about you, yourself. Tap into yourself. Start healing from things that you need to heal from. And start. Tap into yourself and start working on yourself. It's going to be worth it in the long run. I'm telling you. And you're going to feel good. You are going to feel good when you start tapping into yourself and healing from your inner self. And get folks out your ears, get all the noise out your ears and stuff, and start spending time alone. That's when miracles happen, God damn it. When you spend time with yourself. And if you feel like you can't spend time with yourself, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm telling you, you got a problem. If you can't spend time with yourself, something wrong. Something wrong. You should be able to spend time with yourself. And you should enjoy it. But some people don't. And the reason why they don't is because they got so much going on within them. And they need to heal from a lot of stuff they got going on in them. And some people need to get rid of some people that's in your life. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about family, too. Oh, yeah. People that don't mean you no good. Because let me tell you something. When you're a person who really don't understand what love is, let me make it clear to you. Love don't hurt. Okay? I meet so many people, talk to so many people who got somebody in their life that's supposed to be loving them, and they not really loving them. They hurting them. Love don't hurt. Okay? And a lot of times people need to get rid of people in their life because they there and they serve no purpose. They serve no purpose at all. They're just there. Okay? You got to learn how to let them go. Let it go. Let it go. And yeah, you might miss that person for a minute because they've been there so long. But guess what? You take that time and spend it with yourself and heal you. Ask yourself, why did I let that person stay in my life so long when all they was doing was hurting me? You need to ask yourself those questions because you the one with the problem, not that person. You got the problem because you allowed that person to stay there, and all along that person was hurting you. They weren't loving you. They was hurting you and breaking you down. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to learn to love yourself enough to start, cutting people off. Start spending time with yourself. And so you can heal. Because when we entertain bad company, that means there's something wrong with us. Because that person wouldn't be there if you didn't have them there. Huh? So when you entertaining bad people or people that treat you bad, it's because it's something going on within you that you need to heal from. Because that person ain't serving you no purpose. They just there. But they ain't doing no good for you. None whatsoever. You got to recognize that. I'm talking to men and women. I ain't just talking to women. Anytime that you are entertaining bad company, it's because something's wrong with you, your inner self. And you need to figure that out, what that is. Anytime you sitting around entertaining somebody, they talking about they love you, but they study, hurting you. Or just entertaining people who mean you no good. You got to ask yourself, why am I doing this? What's wrong with me? Why am I entertaining people who don't mean me no good? I ain't just talking about relationships. I'm talking about friendships too. Family ships, whatever. Sisterships, brotherships. Whoever the person is that's in your life that's harming you. That's not doing nothing for you. That's who I'm talking about. Why are they there? What purpose? What is their purpose for being there? You gotta ask yourself that. They there and they ain't doing nothing for you.
creating chaos, confusion. At some point, it's time to clean house. Oh yeah. You with somebody, you've been with them. I'm just using this for an example. Say you've been with them 10 years, 10, 15 years. And y'all been doing the same shit for 10, 15 years. Y'all ain't elevated or evolved at all. Okay? But you're still there. You still hanging on. For what? For what? What you still holding on for? Ain't nothing changed in 10 years that you've been there with the person. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing. You working like a fucking Hebrew slave. They might be working. But nothing has really changed. Nothing. At some point in your life, it's time to clean house. And do better. And be better. Yep, it's time. Hello. Yep. You gotta make your mind up, and you gotta start loving yourself. That's the problem with some of us. We don't love ourselves. That's why we be letting so much stuff happen to us. Because we don't love ourselves. That's the problem. You gotta start loving yourself. You really do. Because if you don't start loving you, ain't nobody else gonna do it. That's just the truth.